as the Australians make their way onto the field now.
Let's hear the reception for the Australian team. Close to a full house here at the Adelaide Oval for the start of the second test. Here comes Ricky Ponting and Adam Gilchrist. They rush out onto the ground. Len McGrath is among them. There's a lot of talk overnight, even from McGrath himself, writing a newspaper column about his fitness. So just two slips, this is unusual, and a gully. And the first ball of the second test from the northern end. Lee bowls it, and it's wide outside the off stump, not to Harmison wide. It was full and it was wide. It landed inside the return crease, but it was very wide outside the off stump, and Strauss looked at it as it went past him. Warne at first, Ponting at second, Hayden in the gully with a pointer, cover and a mid-off.
Cover?
A wideish mid-on and two men back.
I don't know why they've got a cover. First over.
Third slip?
You want a third slip.
Here's Lee starting his second over, and he's edging and he's not caught. It didn't carry. Just in front of a diving Gilchrist, he got it on the first bounce. He pushed down the line. Lee just bowling the line there, and it took the edge, and luckily for Alistair Cook, it just landed in front of the diving Adam Gilchrist, just in front. He tried to withdraw his bat at the last moment, so maybe that just made sure it didn't fly.
That saved him, not going hard at the ball. Looks like there's going to be decent carry here at the Adelaide Oval again.
Here's Stuart Clark from that northern end. He bowls a ball that's hit in the air, and he's caught it mid-on. He's out. Martin takes the catch. A leading edge. He went to drive, and Stuart Clark gets the breakthrough. He's the number one bowler in this team, it seems, at the moment. 7 wickets at the Gabba. He's got the first wicket here, and that came from nothing, really, as Strauss wanders off. A miscue to mid-on, well taken by Martin diving forward, and England are 1 for 32.
Yes, it was nicely taken by Damien Martin, because he did have to come forward and he did have to dive. Often he's been looked a bit sluggish in the field, but he was sharp there. And that gives the Australians the reward. Both teams have been playing very tight cricket. Nothing has been given away from the bowlers. The batsmen also have been going along watchfully, as well they might after their first innings performance in Brisbane.
Clark to Cook. He edges, caught behind. You could hear the nick. Umpire Cootson was about to bring the left index finger out of the holster when Cook was on his heels and walking towards the George Giffen stand. Well, he is on song. Stuart Clark, the form bowler almost in the Australian lineup, and he has captured both early wickets. Both openers are gone. Cook caught Gilchrist, bowled Stuart Clark for 27, and on a wicket where the toss was favourable and agreeable for batting, England are a little bit shaky early. They're now 2 for 45.
Now Collingwood waits for Stuart Clark. An interesting field, and this is turned away down towards deep backward square leg. I'll tell you about it in a minute. There was a short mid-off there, and then two men catching on the leg side at short mid-on and short mid-wicket. That's the applause for England's 50. They get there at last. It's taken a long time. The first ball of the 25th over, and after 105 minutes. Thanks, Graham. So it's been a patient start, should we say, but they have lost those 2 wickets, and that's why at the moment it's certainly been Australia's opening session.
Slow scoring here today, quite tense cricket as England try to take advantage of the opportunity of batting first, but they haven't got the momentum in their batting yet.
Up comes Warne, and he bowls short outside the off stump. It's cut away, he's found the gap, and will go for 4. Doesn't happen very often. When Warne does bowl a bad ball, especially in an attritional phase of cricket like this, you've got to get it away, and Collingwood there found the gap. Clark couldn't stop it. Here's Warne, tossing it up outside the leg stump, clipped away through mid-wicket, runs here for Collingwood. As that runs away towards boundary, won't go all the way, it goes about 3/4 of the way. And Martin throws the ball back in again, and England gets to the 100, 2 for 100. The best part of 3 hours, mind you, 176 minutes.
As Warne tosses high, and he's down, and he's driving this. That's straight, and that's strong. Down towards the screen. It goes 1, 2 bounces across the rope. Warne issued the invitation, and Bell played a very good straight drive. A lofted straight drive to the line.
2 for 134. In goes Lee and bowls it short and sliced away. That'll go for 4. Flashing away over second slip, I'd say that went. And down very fine indeed. So an uncontrolled stroke. But it moves Bell ahead of Collingwood. He goes to 49. Warne rolls. That's nudged away. He will do. Down towards deep square leg it goes. A great British cheer breaks out on the hill as Paul Collingwood waves his bat towards the dressing room. It's his second 50 in 2 tests. And he's 50 not out from 113 balls. And he's hit 4 fours. Up there you can see all those hands clapping together. Hands above heads. And Warne comes up and bowls a flatter ball too. He drives. He's going to get there too. Next ball. McGrath fields. And Bell waves to those supporters first on the hill and then to the dressing room. For him also a second half century. He shows his bat all around the field. The 2 batsmen shake hands. And Bell a little slower than Collingwood to reach his half century. 140 balls. And he too has hit 4 fours.
Could be. He bowls to Bell now, and Bell gets the short ball. He's hit it up in the air. He should be caught by Langer. He's calling for it. Lee is too. Lee takes it. There was no collision. There's a bit of anticipation going on there. It was the short ball, and he played a dreadful stroke. And he knows it as he walks off. He went to hook. He was suckered into that. He was on a bit of an adrenaline roll, it seemed, and it skied straight up in the air. Lee came down the pitch. Langer came in. For a moment I thought there might be a collision, but Lee claimed the catch overhead. And it's a big wicket for Australia after a very good partnership. Lee screaming mine, took the catch, a caught and bowled to Lee, and Bell is out for 60.
McGrath's over the wicket to Peterson, who drives at this for 4. Out through extra cover. He beat a diving Hussey and away towards the northernmost of the Chapel stands. Peterson up to 8, and it's 3 for 174.
And Warne comes in and bowls to him. He's gone for a big one. Down he comes. He's in high over, deep mid-off. Away it goes, possibly into the hill. They're certainly screaming down there. Has gone for 6. And Warne's got his hands on his hips. And he glares over his shoulder as Peterson just walks past him. Exchanges a word with Collingwood. A long leg and a square leg as McGrath bowls. Collingwood drives. Will Clark get there? He gets some of the way there. He gets a hand to it and denies Collingwood a boundary. But they'll come back and take 2. That's picked up in front of the little red tractor over there to our left. And the 200 comes up for England. 3 for 201.
Lee streams around from deep point and gathers. And there's Peterson's 50 as he completes the second. Kevin Peterson. 92 in the second innings at the Gabba, 50 not out here. And of course we all remember how he finished the last Ashes series with 158 at the Oval. He waves to all points of the ground. He's an even 50. Collingwood faces him again, goes back and pulls it away for another 4. And Graham Pelham just handing me a note that previous boundary was Collingwood's first in 108 balls faced since 2:48 local time. It's now 5:39, so he'd virtually batted for 2 hours without striking a 4, and he brings up 2 in consecutive deliveries, and with it, for the second time in consecutive innings in this series, is into the 90s.
In comes Lee and bowls, and Collingwood gets a no ball, which steers down to third man. Now that's useful. It takes him to 95. And it's a no ball, so England will take an extra 1 as well. But what does that do, I wonder, for Collingwood? And just a thought about getting his 100 here. Has the issue of the gents' toilet been raised yet on ABC?
Well, not with me personally. I mean, have you?
Well, I don't.
Are you struggling in that area?
Well, no, I'm not in any way want to offend our listeners at all.
Well, I'm interested to see where this goes, Agnes.
Have you been to the gents today?
You are getting personal, aren't you?
No.
No, I haven't.
You haven't been all day. All right.
Don't look at me like that when you say it.
Well, I'm a bit surprised, but anyway, okay. Here's Clark bowling round the wicket, left arm spin, driven through extra cover. They've taken 1. They'll come back for the second. A tumbling save out there will keep them down to 2. Stuart Clark's a man on that boundary, and the score moves up to 2 for 131 with Bell on 42.
Mate, I've got a... my bladder's okay. I mean,
okay, that's all right.
I'm happy with the state of my bladder.
Well, I'd like you to go and have a look.
Are you talking about the one just at the back of our press area?
I'm talking about the ones everywhere all around the ground.
Okay.
Apparently, but
this
yes,
could take some time.
Here's Clark bowling with a grunt, and that's turned to mid-wicket, and there's no run. Now look, I love coming to Australia. I love it.
That's the preface of this comment, yeah. You're building up to something here.
But,
yeah.
Here's Clark, round the wicket, fair-haired, and this is pushed away back to the bowler, there's no run. It is quite highly regulated, isn't it?
Well, your butt.
Oh, yes, Australia. Quite a lot of regulation.
The country in general.
Yes.
Well, that's... Well, I think
For this
if you compare it to Haiti, probably yes.
OK, here's Clark, and that's driven back. And Bell remains on 42.
I think it's even more regulated than Fiji at the moment, but yeah, go on.
I have never been to a gents anywhere in the world which has given me, and I'm not going to be personal, and I don't want to offend anybody, but has said that you can't aim above a certain line. Here's Clark, and that's turned away to square leg by Bell, and there's no run. Have you beat? You must go and have a look.
Look, I think this is not unrelated to the amount of ads for erectile dysfunction medication in the world.
Nothing to do with that at all.
No?
There are lines. There are lines in there that you must aim below this.
And you're a tall man.
This is driven firmly back. Catch it, they shout. It goes over Warne's head and lands in a big area of open territory down there by the hill. Down goes Warne, dashing towards the boundary, and they come back for 3. So Bell goes to 45, and it's 2 for 134 at the end of that over.
I'm speechless.
Well,
I'm struggling here at the moment with this.
But
I am going to go down when I get off.
I'll tell you what. Just go and have a look now while I'm still on. Go, take your headphones off. It's only over. I'll talk. Go and have a quick look out the back and tell me what you think.
I'll take my camera phone, bring it back for our website.
Go now. Go and have a look. I'll do this next few balls. Go and tell me what you think. You're not going to carry on.
I'm just going to check that with the producer.
Go and have a look.
The producer's looking daggers at me now. I know you like to be produced the show. Well, you talk about the press toilet out the back here that we use. It's got in there as well. Now, I've been in there hundreds of times in my life, and recently we were here doing some local cricket. And
obviously, a new South Australian law. You can't aim so many inches above or whatever, or trajectories and angles.
Well, see, South Australian laws, it could be slightly different here.
I want you to go and have a look. 2 for 134. In goes Lee, and he bowls to Bell, who plays firmly back to him. Hurls the ball back towards the stumps. Lee, well away from the batsman. It wasn't a Shane Warne effort of last week, I don't think, but just enough to get the crowd umming and ahhing and booing and having a look.
I'll just
go on, Henry.
If I don't speak for a moment, viewers, just viewers, listeners, I'll be back in a moment.
That's fair enough.
And I'll bring you back confirmation.
Go and have a look. 2 for 134. And Lee polishes the ball on his forehead, but Bell is making him wait now. He took his glove off. And now, with a twiddle of the bat, he settles down again. Bell's on 45. 2 for 134. The sun's shining. In goes Lee, and he bowls, and Bell drives firmly. And Lee sticks out a left hand. The ball bounces into it and then bounces out again. And it's all tied up at mid-off. And there's no run. Interesting field on the leg side remains, though, with a straight mid-on, a short mid-wicket, and a backward short leg, sort of a deep leg gully, I describe here as. There for anything that clips off the leg stump into the air. And we have a photograph. We have a photograph. Henry?
I volunteer not to be in this photo. Brett Lee's about to bowl, I guess. OK,
in he goes, and he bowls, and Bell defends and plays back to the bowler. So, what do you reckon?
The exact wording is aim below. And I've got to say, the Plimsoll line was very low. Didn't you think? I thought it was a really low target.
I didn't think it was terribly easy.
You and I around the 6'4" mark. And
have you ever seen anything like that before?
I think I need to practice that.
Have you ever seen that before?
I can honestly say I've never seen that. Although I've seen some signs in India that said, please do not spit or urinate on this wall. And they were outdoors.
That's fair enough. But I've never been told yet.
I wonder who put the stickers on there.
Well, I know, I felt sorry for him too. But they're everywhere, all around the ground. In goes Lee over the wicket. And he bowls, is pushed away by Bell up to mid-off. And there's no... And I'm sorry if I've offended anybody. And we don't like toilet humour on the ABC, but I just thought it's just an interesting state of affairs.
We might have to get Mike Rand, the Premier, on the line. He was at the David Hookes game yesterday.
Yeah.
And that would have been a good question for him. Well, what is the policy, this state health policy?
I think it's a job for Peter Walsh, who, as we know, You know, he likes to get investigative when he's got the microphone and go out and ask questions.
I think he needs to get his hands dirty on this one.
Well, we need to get to the bottom of it. 2 for 134.
Yeah.
And Lee turns and heads off again. The breeze tugging in umpire Buckner's shirt. In he goes and bowls up to mid-off. Is Bell driving again?
Yeah, I think that sort of sign could be good on a cricket pitch. Aim below.
It could be used for all sorts of
You
things.
put it on a good length and say, look, aim below this line.
Absolutely. All sorts of things. But
Aim below.
I'm just surprised to see it in there.
Apparently, it'll be on the website shortly.
Is it they're putting it up?
Well, Glenn did take a picture.
Excellent.
Which I think is strictly illegal, taking pictures in conveniences, but...
Yeah, it's going on the website. Caroline's putting it up now. So any thoughts? You know the usual email address. 2 for 134. In goes Lee and bowls it short and sliced away. That'll go for 4. Flashing away over second slip, I'd say that went. And down very fine indeed. So an uncontrolled stroke. But it moves Bell ahead of Collingwood. He goes to 49. And England are 2 for 138. They were 2 for 45.
Well, maybe uncontrolled that last slash, but when they've only got one slip, it's quite easy to do. Swinging it hard, and Brett Lee's bowling quite fast, and it wasn't that bad delivery. A little bit short, a little bit wide, and Bell went at it really hard. It's quite a safe shot to play. Most of the field has been set in front of the batsman on a slow pitch to get the mistimed drives, a la Andrew Strauss, who was the first wicket to fall today. But no one defending the ball that flies through the slip area at all, not even the third man. So that's a safe shot to play, and a nice aggressive shot. When you do get a bit of width off the fast bowler, go after it at hard and take a small risk, but that's raced away for 4. Have we got over that issue yet? Can we move on?
Well, I've just received some more information.
Oh, there is no more information.
Well, I don't know where it's taking us quite this.
Angus, this is too much information.
Yeah, I think it probably is too much information. But it sounds as if it is the latest and therefore very welcome drive to stamp out drink driving. And that if you don't aim below and you aim at it and you're over the limit, things happen.
Oh, okay. So there's some fine print on that sticker, was there? I wasn't going to get that close to it.
No, something happens to the... Anyway, we shall say no more, but it's an interesting diversion for 10 minutes. 2 for 138, and Warne is back in the attack at the northern end. That's much more important. Here he comes, and he bowls on the middle stump. Collingwood on 45 comes forward.
Now, I'm going to let this go in a moment, but will this be a topic of conversation on the BBC?
Oh, it's already been. Australia's been rubbished on there. What a country this is. Even tells you where you know. Anyway, 2 for 138, and up comes Warne over the wicket, floating it well up and then spinning away. Collingwood plays no stroke, and it's taken there by Gilchrist. No, it hasn't been discussed yet, but I just noticed it. That's all. But I admire your stamina, Henry. That's remarkable. I mean, it's 3:30.
I know, but I feel like going now. I think we're talking about it.
Here's Warne, and that's turned away to short leg by Collingwood, and there's no run. A flag waves down there on the hill. I hope it's all good nature down there. I'm sure it is. We've got England supporters, Australian supporters all gathered down there, and so far they've stuck very well to the channels. There are some little areas there that people aren't allowed to stand on, or walkways, if you like. Here's Warne with a great grunt, and that goes spinning past the outside edge. Gilchrist had the bails off in a flash.
Well, that did spin quickly, and the grunt, and you call it, because that was the extra spin on it, because that one did fizz past the outside edge.
Yes, it did.
And that was, as we would call, a ripper.
There'll be a lot of Brits watching this, be it at home or here, who would just be amazed that Palliser hasn't been chosen. And they can count me amongst them.
I know you're very strong on that.
What's today? Here's Warne, and back goes Collingwood, pushing it away for 1. As Clark feels they're halfway back to the boundary on the offside. Well, having been here for the game 10 days ago, it just seemed the absolutely obvious decision. I had a good chat with Les Burdett yesterday. There's a charming bloke, the groundsman here, isn't he? Good old boy, he's been around for years. And he said, look, it's going to be the same little turn. Might go through a bit more, he said. Warne bowls, and again that's pushed away by Bell into the offside, looking for that one for his 50, but he's not getting it there. And Rudy Kurtzen calls over. 139 for the loss of those 2 wickets. Strauss of 14 and Cook for 27, both to Clark, and both some time ago now, the last one falling in the 21st over. So it's been attritional, certainly, this cricket today. England battling away. They do know they've got to get a big score here. They're not least because of the spin that we've been talking about. They cannot allow a situation when they get bundled out. Australia get a huge score and then have England floundering around trying to save a game with Warne spinning the ball all over the place. So they've got to try and control this game.
I mean, a couple of factors about the pitch will be just how much heat we get on it and how much spin it will take. I think it'll get a little bit quicker tomorrow and may just give bowlers a little more to work with.
Here's Lee bowling. Oh, Yorker. And again, it's well dug out by Collingwood. Just getting his bat down on time. 152.2 kilometres per hour. So that's up in the 90s, isn't it? Pretty brisk.
That's 145 is 90. So
Yeah.
it's 94-ish mile an hour.
We've got our first Christmas cake, Henry, and it comes from the South Australian Cricket Society, who very kindly allowed me to, I don't say entertain them, but I speak to them.
Well, this is
10 days ago.
This is before your trip around the urinals at Adelaide Oval.
Oh yeah, comfortably.
Yeah, good.
Stuart, we didn't see as much of you as we first anticipated. Now, with only the 14 overs down, are you okay?
I'm fine. As I said in the previous interview, it was just something that Ricky went with, and he went down another path, and that's just the way it went.
It was always going to be a tough day because the Adelaide track, first day of a test match, not a lot to offer for the bowlers. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, look, it's. I think in my summation, it's a day 2 wicket rather than a day 1 wicket in Adelaide. It's usually flat and good for batting down here, but just looking at the wicket and seeing how it played, it reminds me more of a day 2 wicket.
You picked up those 2 wickets and a 2 for 45, Australia on top. It just wasn't possible to gain the initiative in the afternoon session. The batting was slow, but the English batsmen were right on song.
Yeah, very much. They batted very well, and full credit must be given to them. They played to their strengths, and they kept us out, and we didn't get a breakthrough. If we'd done another couple of wickets late in the evening or in that session, we would probably had a much better day.
Ricky Ponting always says he talks to his bowlers to see how they are feeling. Were you surprised that he held off a little in not taking the second new ball?
Oh, I think from looking at that, you probably want to have 2 cracks with it, one tonight and one in the morning. The wicket's hard and it's abrasive, so the ball doesn't last all that long. So he probably went down the path of let's have 2 cracks with it.
Was there much movement out there at all for you and for Glenn and for Bretley early in the piece?
Not really. The ball, there was a little bit of swing, obviously, with the new ball, but off the seam there wasn't much at all.
You said it played like a day 2 wicket. What's going to be there now for you tomorrow for the second new ball? And, Stuart, as the game progresses, what do you think that the track will do?
Look, it's going to get slower. I think as the game progresses, it'll be a bit up and down. The wicket, obviously it'll break up and it'll spin more. But look, there's never going to be too much sideways in that wicket. It'll be more the variable bounce, I think.
And will there be something in for the spinners, or do you think, from your point of view, with the ball in hand, with the quick bowlers, you're always going to find something right through the 5 days?
Look, there'll obviously be something for the spinners, like most Test wickets. The longer the game goes, the more rough and the more turn there'll be. So, there'll be a little bit more for the spinners. But as I said, variable bounce for the quicks will be our biggest weapon.
We've talked about how well we think you bowled. Tell our listeners how you think today went in your life as a Test cricketer. What do you think about the 14 overs?
Look, it was a good day for me. I got a couple of wickets early, and look, the ball came out of my hand really well. So I'm pretty pleased from a personal point of view. But I'd like to have more from a team point of view. If another couple of wickets would have been great.
You walk away now, and England well placed, only 3 down, and with some aggression to follow in the change rooms now. They'd be feeling fairly buoyant. What was the feeling like when you sat in the rooms and Ricky Ponting had to talk to the troops straight after today?
Look, we were pretty positive. It was a hard day for us, but we know we're only a couple of wickets away from getting some of the lower order in, and if we can do that early tomorrow, then we can get ourselves out there batting tomorrow afternoon.
And the other Clark too got amongst it. It meant the stats people were diving for their record books. Clark from one end and Clark from the other end. It's a bit unusual to see 2 with the C.
He's got an E on his name though. But Michael loves to have a bowl, and he wasn't lucky at the end not to pick up a wicket.
Stuart, I don't know whether you're aware that over 31,000 people were at this venue today, which is the biggest Test crowd in over 30 years. It was really quite spectacular. The opening, the Australians with the new ball. What was it like out in the middle, playing in an Ashes Test in Adelaide now with being one up in the series?
Oh, but it was a tremendous feeling. The national anthem singing, and the crowd got into it, and the crowd were vocal all day. So Brisbane was a great Test match, but now we've come here to Adelaide, and the same thing's applicable. We've the support that we're getting from all the people around the country is tremendous.
And the important thing from your point of view too, with the pressure that Tate and Johnson are applying, that every time you get the ball, you have to try and be as competitive as possible to stay in what is a team now where you need to continue to perform at the highest level.
Look, it's a very competitive spot, but that's a good thing. But for me personally, it's about doing the job that I can do. I'm not going to worry about the other people that are around me. I can go out there and do what I can do, control what I can control, and hopefully the results will go my way.
And a final one, have you had a chat to Glenn McGrath? I know there was some doubt beforehand as to whether the heel was okay. He's got through his overs. Is he okay?
He's fine. I think he's going down to try and find the groundsman and see if he can put some water on the wicket for tomorrow.
Will you give him a hand if you can find the groundsman?
I might come in there and give him a hand, I think so.
All the best tomorrow. 2 for today, only 14 overs. We'll see plenty of you tomorrow, but thanks for joining us.
Good on you. Cheers.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. Ian Bell joins me on the outfield. Ian, 266 for 3 over on that scoreboard there. I'd imagine the dressing room is a contented place this evening.
Yeah, definitely. It was a day that we really need to play well on, and especially after Brisbane, it was important for us. We sat there and we talked about how important whatever we did first, whether it was bat or ball, here in Adelaide, it was important we did it really well.
Were you on tenterhooks, though, about the toss? Because I'm sure you were desperate to bat first.
Yeah, definitely. I think over here it's important, you want to get out there and get runs on the board. And it was a good day for England. I think even though we won the toss, it was important we sort of applied ourselves and try and keep Australia in the field as long as possible.
Was the wicket not quite as quick as maybe you and a lot of people here anticipated?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, the warm-up game we had here, was quite similar, really. But it's one of those wickets. As a batter, you need patience. Runs aren't going to come all the time. It's quite slow. The outfield was quite slow as well. So, to be honest, I mean, in England, that probably would have been more on the board as well. So it was a good day for England.
Do you regard that as a good pass score, bearing in mind the outfield and the wicket?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's going to be a fast-scoring game, this one, really. But it was important, that we've gone through the whole day and, lost 3 wickets. And I think that's a good message to send out.
How do you look back on your own innings of 60?
Yeah, it was important. I wanted to get through that new ball, get through, the first go at Warne. But yeah, disappointed to get out in 60. I sort of did all the hard work like I did in Brisbane in the first innings, and I'd like to go on and get 100, and hopefully it's not too far around the corner. But I feel in good touch and in good form, so it's nice to be out there and get some runs.
From your point of view, and I dare say you've seen it again on the action replay, how do you see your own dismissal?
Yeah, pretty soft, really. I mean, it's one of those kind of wickets, really. Sort of when you bang it in, it seems to just hold in the wicket a little bit, so it gives you that maybe a split second to think about playing that shot. And maybe if it was a wicket a little bit quicker, I just got straight under it. And possibly the first 2 fours in that over probably got me into a bit of hit mode. But happy with the way I played. Just a bit disappointed to get out in the 60s.
Paul Collingwood again has shown tremendous guts here, hasn't he? I mean, some people will say, well, I'd love to be 98 not out. Others will be thinking, I wish I'd got to 100. I might have a sleepless night. But I'm sure you'd like to commend his guts.
Oh, definitely. Colley's a fighter, and he's shown that since he's been in this Test team. And with whatever he does, bat, ball or field, he's always out there fighting. And he's played really well today, and as he did in Brisbane in the second innings. And I just hope he can go on tomorrow and get his 100.
Does Glenn McGrath look fully fit to you?
Well, it's not really, up to me. I mean, Glenn, he's come in, he's bowled his overs today, so I'm sure that's up to the Australian sort of team, and they can worry about that, and we'll worry about scoring the runs tomorrow. And that's as far as we're concerned. We're not too worried about what's going on in the Australian camp. We're interested in what's going on with us.
So much modern-day Test cricket is played at an almost frenetic rate. That was almost a throwback, wasn't it, to Test cricket as it once used to be?
Yeah, it was. It was a patience game, really. It was a real graft out there. Australia didn't give us a lot to hit. There were some ring fields where you had to be patient and just really, really wait for that bad ball. And to be, Australia bowled quite tidily, but I thought the guys played really well today.
Stuart Clark didn't bowl for 2.5 hours in the afternoon. He came back with the second new ball. Did that surprise you? Because statistically, he was the most successful bowler.
Possibly a little bit. I mean, especially at the end of the day, we looked at, he'd only bowled 14 overs, so that was a little bit surprising, really. I didn't realise that, but obviously there's some great bowlers on the Australian side, and like I said, it's important for us just to focus on what we were doing, not what Australia were doing.
What is a minimum score, do you think, from your point of view now, to really put you in a strong position?
I just think we need to get as many as we can, really. You never quite know what these wickets will do towards the end, but this is is known as a very, very good wicket. So I think if we can do a lot of batting that we need to do this innings, then it'll be hold us in good stead for the rest of the game.
Do you feel this evening finally that in the dressing room, if you like, England are in the Ashes at last, in the ball game after what happened at Brisbane?
Yeah, possibly a little bit like what happened back home. We're probably a little bit nervous in there that first game. We've got that game out the way now, and the guys came out and showed really what they're about, and that's really important.
A ring field. They're going to try and put pressure on Peterson. The only man in the deep is at long leg. Away goes Stuart Clark, and Peterson turns up towards mid-wicket, goes through for the single. Clark throws it to non-strikers, and there it is. He removes the helmet as he runs towards the River Torrens end. His 6th Test century, his 2nd in 3 tests against Australia, and he signals to all parts of the ground. Kevin Peterson is becoming a nemesis for this world champion, #1 ranked Australian team. 149 balls, 10 fours and a 6. He's 100 not out in a total of 3 for 325.
Lee trying to get the outswing. Comes up and he bowls now to Collingwood, who's forward, and he punches it wide of mid-on. McGrath's after it. This will be Paul Collingwood's 100. A little pump as he goes back for the 2nd and returns for the 3rd. And Paul Collingwood reaches his first 100 in Ashes cricket. He removes his helmet, he raises his bat to the crowd, and Kevin Peterson embraces him with some enthusiasm. It was a huge hug. And now Collingwood directs his attention towards the English dressing room, acknowledging the standing ovation. And a fitting standing ovation it is for a very good, chanceless 100 scored by Paul Collingwood.
Now McGrath, first ball of day 2, and Peterson drives on the up for 4. That was a Tendulkar-like shot then. Tendulkar does that. He's a lot shorter man, but Tendulkar just comes to attention without really going forward or back and just times it through the covers. Well, that was a magnificent shot by Peterson, and welcome to the bowling crease, Glenn McGrath. He's 77 now, 3 for 292.
Yeah, Peterson at his flamboyant best.
And this one's driven down the ground. It beats McGrath's left hand. A long chase for Martin down towards the hill and the various team supporters, and he won't get there. It beat him. It was a close run thing, but another boundary, this time a beautifully timed straight off drive. It was only just off the edge of the pitch in the follow through for McGrath. 81 now to Peterson. 3 for 296. Peterson gets one short and pulls for 4 more. That was only just short, and he puts it out towards the members in front of the Giffen stand. 3 boundaries in the over, extra cover, long off, and now mid-wicket. Here a thought for our press photographers down there at the moment. There's not much to snap of any great interest, I'd imagine. It's a repetitive cricket. Warne comes in again. Collingwood advances. There's a photo for them as he lofts straight back over the bowler's head. Going after it, McGrath down it straight long off, and it beats him over the right. In fact, it was Stuart Clark way away in the distance. 150 for Paul Collingwood. 152 not out in a total of 3 for 368, and in a partnership of 210 between himself and Kevin Peterson. 13 fours, 316 balls.
And what a lovely way to bring it up, particularly after one had spun past the outside edge. Good positive stuff from Collingwood. Needs more of that.
Now McGrath, first ball of day 2, and Peterson drives on the up for 4. That was a Tendulkar-like shot then. Tendulkar does that. He's a lot shorter man, but Tendulkar just comes to attention without really going forward or back and just times it through the covers. Well, that was a magnificent shot by Peterson, and welcome to the bowling crease, Glenn McGrath. He's 77 now, 3 for 292.
Yeah, Peterson at his flamboyant best.
And this one's driven down the ground. It beats McGrath's left hand. A long chase for Martin down towards the hill and the various team supporters, and he won't get there. It beat him. It was a close run thing, but another boundary, this time a beautifully timed straight off drive. It was only just off the edge of the pitch in the follow through for McGrath. 81 now to Peterson. 3 for 296. Peterson gets one short and pulls for 4 more. That was only just short, and he puts it out towards the members in front of the Giffen stand. 3 boundaries in the over, extra cover, long off, and now mid-wicket.
Peterson on 122, waits for lead. He clubs him back for 4. He drilled it straight down the ground. McGrath's after it, but he's not going to stop it. A savage blow. And Peterson goes on to 126. 3 for 397.
That was an intimidatory off drive. I should be reported for that. Wasn't a lot wrong with delivery. It was about 145k. It was probably 6 inches too full and 6 inches too wide.
Yep.
And it got the treatment.
A murderous blow.
Oh. They're the ones you stick your left hand out in the follow-through, and then just withdraw at the last moment so you don't lose 2 fingers.
Warne strides in, bowls. Collingwood's forward. There's the 400th run for England. Just pushed past McGrath. They've got there for the loss of only 3 wickets. And down there on the hill, the flags fly on both sides of the sight screen. More polite applause over to our right in the posh seats of the chapel stand. 3 for 400.
It always looks good on the board when you're batting and you glance up and 400's up.
Here he comes to Collingwood. Collingwood forward, drives down towards mid-on and gets the single that brings up the 250 partnership. 250 partnership. Collingwood 169 and Peterson 128 at the end of Michael Clark's over.
Which was a respectable enough offering, and as indeed all his overs have been. Still think it would have been worth putting Hussey on for a couple here and there just to try it.
Ponting's got a sore back, I suppose. Would that be why he wouldn't have had a bowl?
Possibly, yes. You'd need to ask him about that. What did Troy Cooley say at lunchtime? I didn't hear that interview.
Clark's taking his sweater off. And he goes and bowls a low full toss, trying for the Yorker. It's clipped away by Collingwood out into the leg side. A chase for Lang, who's been busy out in that boundary today. He loses his cap as he throws the ball back into the non-striker's end. And Peterson completes 2 to take Collingwood to 193. And England to 446. So 1 away now from establishing the highest 4th wicket partnership ever for England against Australia.
Jeez, what a great effort it's been so far. Freddie Flintoff's had the pads on for a while.
Oh, yes, he has.
So chances of a low score if he does get to
well,
come
indeed. Or you could say it's set up for a bit of a Fred cameo. There it is, tucked away through mid-wicket. A record-breaking stroke from Paul Collingwood. The Seagulls flutter. The fielder pursues the ball, and we'll hear over the PA, I'm sure, in a moment, that this pair, who have batted throughout the day, have now established the record 4th wicket partnership for England against Australia, beating that of 288 between Hussain and Thorpe at Edgbaston in 1997. I don't think the players realise, the 2 batsmen. They will now. It's being read out over the PA. There we go. The crowd appreciating it too.
Good handshake. Acknowledgement.
A slap on the back
together.
The flags waved down there on the hill again. Mainly, in fact, almost exclusively, England flags. 449 for 3. Let's see what happens here. We've got Collingwood on 199. They're all coming in. Ponting has to create pressure here of some sort. There's 4 in a ring on the offside, 3 in the leg. There's a man out of deep backward square leg. But the big hit is on anywhere Collingwood wants to take it. He's on 199. He comes down the pitch and hits him over the top, high over mid-on. Certainly for 4. It might even have gone for 6. I've lost it. It has gone for 4. And look at the hug that Peterson's giving Collingwood. He's reached his first Test double 100. And what a day to do it. And all around the Adelaide Oval, everyone's on their feet. The flags are waving. Collingwood waves and even applauds his helmet and back together towards the Barmy Army on the hill. He shows his bat all around. His hand is shaken by Australians as well as by Kevin Peterson again and again and again. What a moment. Probably the man who would not have played in this Test series had Marcus Trescothick not gone home.
Unbelievable.
And he's made 96 at Brisbane and now his 203 not out here.
Superb, efficient, determined type of player that's had to fight, getting labelled all through his career, not good enough to play for his country, become adaptable one-day cricketer, but not suited to Test cricket. But now finds himself with 200 against his name, and very impressive. Great character.
That's what sport's all about, to take your chance.
And the elation, yes.
And he would have missed out had Trescothick been here. Bell would have taken the batting place and Collingwood would have been pouring the drinks. That's an edge, I think. I think it's caught behind. Collingwood's gone. He's out for 206, a rather tired drive. And Stuart Clark finally breaks through. Collingwood caught behind by Gilchrist. His helmet's off, he's mopping his brow. But he must savour this ovation now, because Paul Collingwood would never have thought that he would be receiving something like this on an Australian ground. Kevin Peterson's wrapped his arm around him as well. He's almost escorting him off. Because in fact, That's his tee. And Peterson now stands back and applauds Collingwood. He's waving his bat all around the ground. A terrific innings. He's leading everybody off. The Australians are applauding. 206. The first Englishman in 70 years to score a double hundred in Australia. He could have taken a long sweep, I think, and the name Paul Collingwood probably wouldn't have been the name that you would come to for the first person to do that. 516 minutes. He faced 392 balls and hit 16 fours in his 206. And, well, that's the first breakthrough for a while for Australia. The last one, the 62nd over.
It's just a surprise, isn't it?
Which over are we in now, Graham? We're in number 146. So the best part of 80-odd overs since a wicket fell, almost a day.
Warne holds, Peterson defends, Tickles gets a run around the corner. Clark comes in from backward square, and is it a run? It is indeed, not a leg by. So that means Peterson is 150 not out. And again, he acknowledges the presence, I think, of his wife down there in the distance. It's the second time he's pointed towards this end of the ground. Normally players point towards the dressing room and then the crowd, sometimes the crowd then the dressing room.
Yes, I think he's got his partner down there somewhere, but I like the way the Englishmen have been also acknowledging the whole ground, the whole crowd. Ponting didn't do that on the way back in Brisbane.
Clark to Peterson. He defends towards mid-on, an underarm throw at the stump. Ponting may have got him run out here. Ponting's confident, Peterson's conceded. He's put the bat under his arm. I didn't see Steve Bucknell's finger go up, but he hasn't called for the third umpire, and Peterson is walking. He's looking back at umpire Buckner. I still didn't actually see the finger raise. It's as if Peterson's given himself out.
He's given Buckner permission not to go for the third umpire.
Direct hit, underarm throw there by Ricky Ponting at the stumps. Very good bit of work, given how long the Australians have been in the field. And Peterson has run out for 158. And England lose their fifth wicket at 489.
Tremendous ovation, standing ovation around the ground. Peterson once again acknowledges the full crowd. That's one thing that the English do very well, I believe, this touring party. I think they've been a popular touring party for everything that I've heard. And again, that sporting side of Peterson acknowledging the applause of the crowd. It's about the only way he's going to get out, I think. Run out. You don't quite know what mad idea made him take a quick single to Ponting at short mid-wicket, but we all do things from time to time that don't look quite so wise afterwards as they did on the spur of the moment. But I suppose he was trying to get the strike, trying to get the innings going while the new guy was playing himself in. But anyway, it was a magnificent innings from Peterson. From the moment he came in yesterday afternoon, he took charge of the attack. He never lost that command. He had quiet periods when they were bowling outside his leg stump, but mostly he was dominating, impressive, imposing himself upon what on paper is a strong Australian attack. He could hardly have hoped to play any better than that. And England, after being bowled out for 157 in its first innings, having been 2, I think, for 45 in this innings, thanks in part to him and not least to Ian Bell and particularly to Paul Collingwood, have now reached the riches that the rags had not promised.
Very poetic.
That just came out the top of the head, that
Don't mind that.
Okay.
Peterson's details: 158 run out by an underarm throw from Ponting to the non-striker's end, faced 256 balls, batted for 379 minutes, hit 15 fours and one very memorable extra cover driven 6 off Warne late yesterday. It's now 5 for 489, and for so long today we've been looking at a scoreboard which has had 2 not out England batsmen well beyond 100. Well, now we've got Flintoff on 9 and Jones yet to face a ball, and as a result, of course, yet to score.
And England, after being bowled out for 157 in its first innings, having been 2, I think, for 45 in this innings, thanks in part to him and not least to Ian Bell and particularly to Paul Collingwood, have now reached the riches that the rags had not promised.
Very poetic.
That just came out the top of the head, that
Don't mind that.
Okay.
Warne over the wicket again, tosses right up, and he goes after it. Jones is caught. Warne finally gets a wicket. Slice to Martin at backward point, and Warne 1 for 145. Geraint Jones out for 1. Warne tossed it up invitingly in full outside off stump. Jones went at it and sliced it comfortably to Martin at backward point, and he departs for one. It's 6 for 491.
That's a low full toss and a cry from Warne, but he's got Giles off the mark. Turning that to deep backward square leg, and the 500 comes up. And they're cheering down there on the hill. And over to our right too, on the smaller mound in front of the Clem Hill stand. And it's come up from 955 balls.
I think this is the 100. Is this the 159th over? That sort of puts it in a little more perspective than 155 balls.
Yes, it does. I was trying to work out 955.
It sounds like a lot, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Flintoff moves across his crease and hits a big 6 over square leg. Whoa! Well, that has got the crowd up.
Glenn, where has that come from?
He actually turned as if McGrath was bowling from the Victor Richardson gates and virtually drove the ball over square leg with the wind. 6 for 537. He leaps to 29. That was an amazing shot. McGrath's away, well up and driven by Flintoff. A low full toss down through straight mid-on for a single. As Martin does the fielding, and I've just been informed by Jonathan Agnew that is the first time that Glenn McGrath has had none for 100 in his career. Now, he still may get a wicket by the end of the innings, but if he doesn't, the man who was a question mark coming into this test match, he's actually giving the thumbs up to the crowd there. He realised he's got none for 3 figures, and it's 6 for 544. Flintoff's 32. Gilchrist is a lone figure behind the stumps. His nearest company is Hayden in the gully as Flintoff gets a slow, low full toss, and he drives it out through straight mid-wicket for 4. And they've declared 550 was the magic figure. 6 for 551. And at 20-6 local time, Australia, I think, will have 10 overs to bat tonight. 6 for 551. Flintoff 38 not out. Giles have already started to wind the numbers back. Giles, how many, please, Graham? 27 not out. Jonathan Agnew will give you a full call of the card in a moment. But suffice to say, Australia will have a spirited 10 overs or thereabouts. It'll be either 9 or 10 overs at the batting crease, and England will be full of venom. Jeff Lawson with his thoughts, to be followed by Jonathan Agnew in a moment.
You're listening to the second Ashes Test, coming to you from the Adelaide Oval on ABC Local Radio and online at abc.net.au/cricket. Bring it on!
Here's the first ball of Australia's reply. Listen to them on the hill as Hoggard runs towards us and bowls to Langer, who lets the first ball go by outside the off stump. And, well, if Hoggard has been watching for 2 days from the side, thought that maybe the first ball go flying through and knock Geraint Jones over. Well,
it did about as much as what the Australian bowlers did with it. It did
basically
absolutely nothing, and it just carried to the keeper. Just.
Up he comes, and he bowls, and Langer drives firmly through mid-off. A good stroke. Australia off the mark. But that's driven for Anderson to chase. I don't think he'll get it. And that's a really good way to get off the mark. Good firm off drive. Everything right. The full blade. And the ball skims away over the outfield and over the ropes for 4. So no wicket for 4. In goes Flintoff and bowls it short and edge and caught it slip. Langer's gone, and listen to the cheer on the hill. It was short, just short of a length, but bounced and fended off. Peterson taking the catch. And that's what England wanted here tonight.
Well, we were just saying the ball before had a lot more zip on it. And that extra bounce from Flintoff just caught Langer on the crease, and maybe the footwork was a little slow. He's had 2 days in the field, didn't quite get across to it, a bit of a shuffle, but it's really the bounce that's beaten him.
Good ball.
And even though it hit high on the splice, only just carried, and that's an indication of the pitch. But the new ball has done the business. The move of opening with Flintoff instead of Harmison has been successful. So just the Langer goes for 4. He's had 2 days in the field, and now he's failed with a bat And we're just about to find out if there is a night watchman strolling to the crease. But good tactics by English skipper Andrew Flintoff by bowling himself, and a terrific result of this first over. That new ball wasn't doing too much sideways, but the extra bounce on that occasion just caught Langer a fraction slow on the crease, playing across, and the ball did hit really high on the bat. And we haven't seen a lot of bounce from the Australian bowlers, when probably Stuart Clark accepted. But Flintoff found a little bit extra there. So just about the perfect start from England. They've kept Australia out there for almost 2 days. They've made a big score, and they made a nice breakthrough to break this long-standing successful partnership. So Justin Langer goes to a good bit of opening bowling.
John, a tough day at the office, but let's be honest, England batted very well. The Australians toiling, so it's set itself up now for what should be an engrossing further 3 days.
Yes, that's right, Walshy. Look, I think England executed their game plan very well. They basically took minimal risks, and on that sort of wicket, if you take minimal risks, it's very dislodge you. I thought our guys bowled very well. I think we fielded very well throughout that period of time, but you know, to say England enacted their game plan very well. So as you say, set up pretty well over the next couple of days.
It was hard toiling for the speedsters. Glenn McGrath wicketless for the first time when over 100 runs up against his name, and Stuart Clark seemed to be the pick of the bowlers, but not much to offer in terms of when they had the red cherry on 3 occasions during a long stay with the ball.
Yeah, no, that's so right. But again, as I said, I think England actually executed very well. Minimal risk, therefore minimal errors, and again on that wicket, which provided no deviation, there was no swing. It's you know, it's a good place to bat once you get in, and that's what they made sure they did.
What's the mindset now, John, and knowing that you've lost an early wicket? Ricky Ponting coming out, and we were sort of tossing it about in the press box as to whether there might be a night watchman, but a positive approach from the Australian skipper. What about tomorrow then with a long haul for the Australians?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's usual story. You can only do it in little bits. So first step is for this pair to try and get through the new ball and lay a foundation for the rest of the innings. And obviously to look at a big total is not necessarily the way to approach it, but it's just about batting their own game plan, adjusting to the wicket, firstly, getting in, seeing the bowlers, and then gradually stepping up their innings.
Doesn't seem to be too much there that would worry the batsman in terms of uneven bounce or sharp turn at this stage. So tomorrow, realistically, it would be a pretty good day for batting.
Well, the wicket seems to be provided. I mean, it's been pretty benign right from the outset, and still, as you say, appears to be that. From what I understand, the weather forecast says it's going to be a little bit cooler again tomorrow. So the actual baking of the wicket hasn't happened. I think if you have a look at the wicket, it's not wearing, as you say. Therefore, the up and down and the spin may become something that'll happen later in the game.
Mood in the camp as Ricky came in with Matthew Hayden at the end of a short stay. What's the feeling like?
Well, I mean, obviously disappointed to lose Justin, but from Ricky's and Matthew's point of view, that they survived what they had to do. They did that reasonably well, and yeah, they're looking forward to batting tomorrow and batting hopefully a long time.
All the best.
Thanks very much, Walshy.
It's a great feeling. Obviously arrived this morning on 98. Wanted to get them 2 runs to the 100 and managed to get them and go on and make it a big one. So great batting with obviously Kevin Peterson. We've put some great partnerships on in the past, and today was a massive one.
The Australian television I was watching last night and this morning were insisting that you wouldn't have slept well because you were 98 not out. What was the reality?
They were pretty correct, to be honest. Felt as though I was up every 20 minutes last night. A few nerves around, obviously, from what happened last week, but it was a great feeling to turn up this morning and put that second ball that I faced away and to get them in 3 figures. But it wasn't only that, it was to go on and make a big one, and thankfully we did that.
Patience was the watchword, wasn't it, Kevin? Because even though everyone was saying it was a very good batting wicket, it probably wasn't quite as quick as a lot of people expected.
No, it was quite hard to go out there and start off. I mean, it was a wicket that you probably spend about 20-30 balls getting yourself in on, and then you can go. Hopefully we don't give the Australians too much of a go to tomorrow, but I think if we stick to our lines, our lengths, our disciplines, and we bowl with discipline tomorrow, then I'm sure we can give it a good run. And cricket's a very, very funny game. You never ever know what's around the corner.
Did you feel a moral victory in that you forced Shane Warne to come round the wicket to you and bowl really quite defensively to you?
Yeah, it is. I think it is a moral victory, definitely, for him to come around the wicket and to pack the leg side field and not attack me at all. But Shane would tell you otherwise. He'd say he's been doing it in a positive and aggressive way. But I don't know. I've always thought that it's not easy to get a bloke out from around the wicket, as it proved today. But he's a great bowler, the greatest bowler that's walked on this planet. So I mean, he can do most things right.
Was it hard to keep your patience then on those occasions because you weren't getting an awful lot of balls you could score off?
Yeah, it was. But I mean, I've been through the mill now, and I know that it's not keen, it's not right to go and chuck your wicket away and get somebody else and to start anew. So I had to be patient. Paul kept telling me to keep my head and to keep going, which was pretty good. He had a pretty rough time of it, telling me to keep myself going on occasions. I was very keen on getting down the wicket and playing some stupid shots, but I mean, he got me going and I got him through, and yeah, it was a great day for him.
You had nervous 90s. Did you have nervous 190s?
No, not this time around, to be honest. Felt pretty confident that I was going to get there. The legs felt a little bit tight, but the mind felt fresh out there. And as I said, I was actually just disappointed the over before tea that I got out. I wanted to go even further.
The first double centurion in Australia by an Englishman since Wally Hammond.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising, isn't it, that I can do such a thing, but that's what I like. I like battling. I like a fight, and that's what it's all about. Test cricket in Australia, and as I said, it's only two good days we've had, but hopefully we can finish off with 3 more.
And Kevin, you got this extraordinary thing with 158 at the moment, haven't you? That's 3 times now.
I know. Everybody can probably see it by my reactions. I was laughing walking off the field. I was just thinking, how can that be? But it's a nice problem to have, to get 158, 158. So I'm not complaining. If you had said to me, I'm going to have 158 yesterday and don't go and bat, I would have said no problem.
Great to get a wicket this evening, but I have to ask, on that sort of wicket, how hard will it be to get 19 more?
Yeah, it is going to be tough. I think batting on it, it's not a wicket that you can be blasted out on. So hopefully we can keep our disciplines tomorrow and you know, try to bowl them out in a way and get them fields right. And hopefully it's not a wicket that you can take too many catches in the slips and things like that. So maybe the drive man will come into play.
Will you two have a special drink this evening? Record 4th wicket Ashes stand against Australia?
I think we'll probably say that for day 4 or day 5 once we won the Test match.
Hoggard runs in again. He comes up and he bowls to Hayden, and Hayden's edging, and he's caught. He's out. Caught by Jones. He pushed at the line. A loose shot, a big wicket for England. Matthew Hayden played a nothing shot, really, going down the line. It feathered the outside edge. You could hear the little in the effects microphone, and he is out for 12. Hoggard has the wicket, and Australia 2 for 35. As Hoggard comes at Ponting, Ponting pulls the short ball away. He could be caught. He's dropped by Giles behind square. Oh, how big a miss is that? He hit it straight to him. It was an overhead catch. Giles saw it, put his hands up, it hit his hands, it popped up. He tried to have a second go at it, but didn't control it, and it went down. What a drop that could be. Ponting took a single.
Up comes Hoggard, and this is all sliced away, and it's caught. Low down. Martin's out. It's Hoggard's 2nd wicket of the morning. He's caught low in the gully. I think it's Bell there who came forward and took the catch. It was quick, it was low, it was a very fine catch. It was Bell who's getting a huge hug from Andrew Flintoff. Not necessarily the reward that you want for a fine piece of work like that, but he won't complain. And Hoggard, inexplicably really, has looked really dangerous here today. He's just plugged away at line and length. There's nothing there for him at all. But he's toiled away, he's asked questions. That was a good catch, low down to the right by Bell. And so Australia are now 3 for 65 in reply to England's 6 for 551. Comes Anderson and he bowls and pulled by Ponting. There's his half century. It's gone for 4, and for the 3rd time in this series. And in his 3rd innings, Ricky Ponting passes 50. He was dropped on 35, and he may not be absolutely feeling at his best.
He might be getting RSI from lifting that bat this year. Over 1,100 runs.
53 not out.
G'day, this is Pat Cummins. Catch all the cricket action on the ABC Listen app.
Alison Mitchell, Pasha Brogley, Sunil Gavaskar, Darren Lehman, Glenn McGrath, Stuart Clark, and the voice of summer, Jim Maxwell.
He's bowled! Right through, he's bowled him! Knocked him over!
Hear every ball of the cricket all summer long.
Scored for 4! Australia have won!
ABC Sports Summer of Cricket. On your radio and on the ABC Listen app. Just look for the cricket button.
ABC Sport Digital Radio. Your home of NRL.
As this one short, and Hussey pulls it away for 6. Over square leg. I don't know whether the gentleman in the blue shirt with arms outstretched took the catch or not. But Hussey, it's a short boundary square on both sides. And Hussey, even though he's hitting into the breeze, cleared it with rows to spare. He's up to 22. It's 3 for 121.
In goes Flintoff, cruising in. He bowls outside the off stump, and Joyce will be chasing this, but it's gone past him and away down to the boundary before, just in front of the chapel stand. A very good stroke. And Hussey's battled through the lean times. He got to 10 very quickly. Took him a long time then to get to 20. But now he's on 39 and playing very fluently indeed.
This one's well up, and Ponting flicks off the pads. He should get at least 3 all run down the long leg. There's no one down there. Peterson runs around. They complete 2, and Hussey wants to run back for the 3rd. Powerful arm by Peterson. But Hussey is quick between the sticks. There's the 100 partnership. 102 runs in 149 minutes from 203 balls faced. Ponting is now 90. It's 3 for 167.
And Ponting settles down over his bat again on 99 not out. Flintoff runs in smoothly past umpire Buckner. He bowls to Ponting, who's forward. There it is, pushing into the offside. And Ricky Ponting raises his bat and he runs through. He's 100 not out. That's his 33rd Test century, the most by an Australian in Test cricket. And everyone here at the Adelaide Oval is on his or her feet. Mike Hussey shakes him by the hand as Ricky Ponting stands upright, stands tall, and like a gladiator, with his helmet in one hand, his bat in the other, receives the applause for a tremendous achievement. He's faced 183 balls and 8 fours in this 100. It's been a crucial one as far as Australia is concerned in this match. He was dropped on 35. And is now 100 not out of 3 for 179. Flintoff hurtles in, and Hussey drives him now past Harmison and down towards the long off boundary. Harmison should just stop it before the ball trickles into the boundary. He does. And they've taken 3. 3 for 182. And what an achievement that is. 33 Test hundreds, but with so much more time on his side than the others who are there or thereabouts. Tendulkar 35, Lara 34. And those are the 2 he can have a contest with to overtake, because Gavaskar, of course, has long since retired.
As Anderson bowls near the pads, flicked away for a single, and Hussey reaches 50. Another half century to Michael Hussey. And another splendid innings. A chanceless half century, 180 minutes of applied batting, 129 balls, a 6 and 3 fours.
Well-deserved applause for Michael Hussey. By no means easy when he came out to bat. Indeed, Australia was in great difficulty at 3 for 85, chasing 550 plus. That really is a perilous position, and he's played a very measured, intelligent, thoughtful innings. Quick between the wickets does help, gets the game going, turns 2s into 3s, and also being a left-hander, I think, turns over the strike, makes it harder for the bowlers all of the time. So a very composed innings, and showing his value to the team. Had he been in England in 2005, we'll never know what might have happened.
Anderson around the wicket, and Hussey drives him through the covers for 4. Beautiful stroke again, a repeat of what he did at the end of the last over. The 200 comes up for Australia. 3 for 203 in the last 50. What's that? 72 minutes, 17.1 overs. So Australia are going along at around 3 and over in this innings. Another fine Michael Hussey stroke.
It was a lovely shot. It was there for the driving, but it wasn't quite a half volley, but he leant into it and placed it, opened the face of the blade, put it away through extra cover. 3 months ago, but it was an African winter.
Yeah, it doesn't count, does it?
How do you know wind is 100 miles an hour?
Well, an anemometer would tell you.
Is it? Sounds rather painful. What's an anemometer?
An anemometer.
Right.
It records wind speed.
How?
Anderson, not sure what speed he bowled at. And Hussey pushes out into the covers. In fact, he bowled 139.8 as the radar gun showed. Have you ever seen like the little... that's the end of the over. We'll have a physics lesson. 3 for 207. Ponting 108 and Hussey 64. You've seen often a little mast and it has like 3 cups on it.
Yes.
And the cups are, if you like, vertical to the ground. And they spin around when the wind gets hold of them.
Yes.
Well, somehow that momentum, through some sort of scientific analysis or conversion, is able to compute wind speed as to how quickly the little thing spins around.
They're guessing.
No, they're not guessing.
These things are spinning around at 100 miles an hour?
Well, no, but the speed with which they are going, there would be a formula that would indicate. You're the sort of bloke that would argue when the radar gun gets you if you're speeding on the highway, say, no, you're just making up that figure. I wasn't over the limit, sir. As Giles is over the wicket and advancing, it's driven by Ponting down towards a straightish long off. Another single, 3 for 100. Sorry, 3 for 208, Ponting 109.
Who was the bloke who took one of these guns into his court case when he was done for speeding and put it on and pointed out the building was going at 28 miles an hour, according to this gun? He got off.
I'm glad it was only that sort of gun he took into a court. Anderson bowls to Ponting, who gets one short, and he pulls it away for 4. Down towards deep backwards square leg. Ponting 113. 3 for 218. And 150-run partnership now between Ponting and Hussey. They're almost halfway to the 310 that was put on by Collingwood and Peterson. 153 they've added in 211 minutes, and that boundary was struck off the 299th ball of the pairing.
He's got the eye of the tiger, hasn't he? Like Clubber Lang said in Rocky 3, prediction for the fight, pain. I'd see a lot of pain for the English bowlers this summer, bowling to Ponting.
It's got an eye like Argus in actual fact, as the ball is turned by Ponting down towards deep backward square leg. Peterson delivers again and Ponting goes back and tickles it fine. They'll get plenty here. Down towards deep fine leg. They go through for 1. They come back for 2. The ball's picked up down to our left. The return powerfully back over the bails from Anderson. They're going to go upstairs. Diving for his ground. Hussey's on his stomach as umpire Bucknor signals for the 3rd umpire. So one of the few times that we've seen Steve Davis called into action in this match. Doesn't seem to be a great deal of excitement from the England fieldsman. Anderson got round, got the return in. It was high. Jones had to take it up over his head. It's close. Whoa, it is close, very close. Normally when the throw's in over like that, it takes the keeper quite a while to get it down. We're getting another replay from another angle. The bat toe is on the ground. It's sliding. Gee. He may be fractionally into his ground, and the stress being on fractionally. Again, it's this situation. Now we're getting a close-up. The problem is that it jigs from one frame to the next. It's not like a super slow-mo camera.
It's about 10 centimetres.
Yeah, so it goes from one... Yeah, the first frame, he's just short of the line. The second frame, he's about 4 centimetres beyond, or more than 4 centimetres beyond the line. But you can't tell when the bail actually lifts between frames. It's where the umpire, the 3rd umpire, you're almost guessing, I think, as to whether...
Any doubt, it's got to go Hussey's way.
You can't get much closer than that. They keep jogging it forward and back frame
but we're
by
still
frame.
Not getting any of that in between frame.
You're not getting what happens at the immediate point the bail comes off. We can't actually tell when that is in relation to where the toe of the bat is. You get the feeling this could be a green light for Hussey and he's going to continue on, but you can't get much closer than that. I'm sure if it was the naked eye, the umpire on the spot, if there was no technology, would have ruled not out because it was too difficult to tell. But the 3rd umpire decision is pending. They're all looking up to the electronic board. The Barmy Army and the Fanatics are looking back over their shoulder, and Hussey's not out. And I think on the evidence that we saw, it's about the only thing that you could really conclude. Ponting 123, and it's 3 for 227. We've got 1 ball remaining in the over.
That throw was over the stumps. Hussey's out.
By probably 1.5 metres. Yes, it had it been bail height, it would have been gone.
It was quick work by Jones. It was well above his head.
Well,
brought it down.
Through 1.5 test matches, his form's been pretty good behind the stumps. Popped some flack last Ashes series, put down 7 catches across 5 tests.
Peterson bowls short, back goes Ponting, hits it through the covers for 4. Splendid shot on the back foot. Ponting 139. It's 3 for 249 at the end of the over. And they're heading for another double century partnership and some. Surely it's time for a new ball. But Giles, from the look of it, is going to come up and have another go. With a clamour of activity behind him, all the punters on the hill, as it were, and he pushes forward as he hit the edge, an appeal for a catch, and he's out. A big wicket, and Ponting's annoyed with himself. He kicks at the traces as he walks off. He's caught by Jones from Hoggard. He waited for the umpire's decision, and in the first over with the second new ball, Ponting has been dismissed. That's a vital wicket for England. 4 for 257, and the applause for Ponting as he makes his way off. Caught Jones, bowled Hoggard, 142.
Well, the second new ball does its job. Hoggard wasn't swinging the ball into Hussey at all. Hadn't deviated. That one just held its line enough, and a bit of extra bounce more than anything. And Ponting was pushing forward to it, and a neat little edge for Jones.
At long leg. In comes Hoggard, running in hard. He's there. He's bowled him! Hussey's gone. It's another wicket for Hoggard. I reckon he played it onto his stumps, trying to take the bat out of the way at the last minute.
Definitely.
It's that testing line of Hoggard's. He's probed away all day. And Hussey was going to play, then he's going to take his bat out of the way. He couldn't do it in time. And the ball has clattered into his off stump. And again, it's good bowling. It's an unfortunate way for a batsman to go, but he was done there by this probing, testing line of Hoggard's. And so I'm afraid it's no 5th century for Hussey today, but he's played very well indeed. His stand with Ponting, worth 192, has dominated the day. And away he goes to a very good reception, but taking great disappointment with him, I'm sure. Out for 91 from 212 balls. Hit a 6 and 7 fours. And Australia and a 5 for 286 as a man with a bit to do comes out to bat. Adam Gilchrist.
Pintoff in. He comes forward. He drives again. Who guides past Giles, chasing back from a wideish mid-off. A couple more to Gilchrist. He's to 9. And Australia bring up their 300. 5 for 301. And the applause for that landmark. And what has been another very competitive and tense day of Test cricket. Australia scoring 273 so far for the loss of 4 wickets today. And there are still 5 more overs. Probably 3, perhaps 4 that can be bowled before 6:30.
Ricky Ponting, 33 Test hundreds for Australia. Congratulations, skipper, on another fine knock.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It was good to be out there and share that partnership with Huss, which is a pretty crucial one, really, in the course of the game. But him and I getting out in quite quick succession wasn't good for the game. But we've got a lot of work to do tomorrow now. Michael Clark started particularly well, and Gilly looks good. So hopefully those two can push up in the morning and really get a good partnership going.
Did you think the track did anything at all that could suggest it might be more difficult tomorrow?
Oh, look, it'll start getting a bit more variable. I think the bounce is sort of slowly dying out of the wicket, but while this ball's still fairly new, it should play pretty well tomorrow.
Your own form, you were very much on the concentration game today. You were steady as she goes. And what about in the stomach when that catch was dropped by Giles when you were in your high 30s?
Yeah, obviously when that one went down, I was pretty keen to make sure that I could push on and make a big score, but I was pretty disappointed to get out when I did. It was a pretty crucial time in the game there. The second new ball just been taken, and Huss and I in the middle of a big partnership, but that's the way it goes. I guess I could have been out a lot earlier, and it might have been a different situation in the game. But no, we're looking okay at the moment. We can push on in the morning, then who knows what can happen in this game.
You're in stellar form, Ricky. The season has been absolutely outstanding for you. Are you seeing the ball better now than ever before in your career?
Oh, I don't know. I think the last couple of years have been pretty consistent for me. I've been lucky to make a few runs along the way, and
I didn't feel that good today, I must admit. I just occupied the crease today. I wasn't at my stroke playing best, I guess, on this wicket, but it's getting slower and harder to bat on as the game goes on.
And finally, what about tomorrow then? What's the plan?
Oh, we just got to bat on now. These two looking as good as they are. It's important that we nail this partnership, and we've still got a couple of good players to come, Lee and Warne. So hopefully that we can get as close to their total as possible.
All the best, and thanks for chatting with us.
Thanks, mate.
Yes, thank you very much. Matthew Hoggard joins us. Matthew, got the scoreboard over there, 4 for 76. That must be very satisfying on a wicket like that.
Yeah, it's been a long, hard day. Obviously, on an unresponsive wicket to get 4 wickets, it's quite satisfying.
Is it the sort of wicket where the new ball is crucial because of what happens after sort of 20, 25 overs with the ball?
Well, I don't think the new wickets, new ball's doing too much neither. I think it's just a hard work day. You've got to get the balls in the right areas for most of the time, and thankfully I think every bowler did that.
I have to ask you, what did you all say to Ashley Giles at lunchtime?
Nothing. Obviously, you say hard lines and you don't mean to drop catches, and if catches didn't go down in cricket, then it'd be a boring old game, wouldn't it?
You managed to keep yourselves going okay. The fielding, remained very good throughout the afternoon. Was it just a question of keeping yourselves G'd up and as you say, disciplines of line and length and trying to force the mistake?
Yeah, that's exactly what we tried to do. Obviously, we got accused for scoring slowly on the first day, but as we proved today, that if you put the balls in the right area, it's tough to score out there.
What sort of form do you think Ricky Ponting is in when you have to bowl at him?
I think he's in terrible form. I think I'm getting him out every ball. Obviously, yeah, he's one of the world's best batsmen at the moment, and he looks to be in good touch.
In terms of the situation of the match, how do you look at it now? Because it is still very open, if you like, with a couple of days to go.
Yeah, we've still got 5 wickets to get, and obviously wickets hard to come by on a wicket like that. So we've still got to go out and put in a good professional performance tomorrow. And hopefully we can get five reasonably quick wickets, and then we'll reassess from there.
And what are you saying to each other in the dressing room in the way that you've responded after what happened in Brisbane over the first 3 days here?
I think the biggest talk in the changing room is how cold the ice baths are, because they are absolutely freezing.
It's the wicket. Perhaps when you got here and we were all told Adelaide is very, very hot, the wicket might sort of break up towards the end of the game. With the way that the conditions have been, you talk about the ice baths, there's been quite a chilly wind as well. Is the wicket holding together a little bit more than maybe you anticipated?
Yeah, we didn't have a big clue what it's going to expect on days 3, 4 and 5. Obviously the weather's a bit cooler and there's a bit of cloud cover, so who knows what it's going to do over the next 2 days.
Steve Buckner, Rudy Kurtzen coming out onto the ground here, followed by the England team on a warmer day here in Adelaide, and the breeze has swung around to the north. It's still a light breeze, and the temperature just pushing up towards 30, expected to get to 28 today. So just the impact of that may have something to do with the pitch changing in character over the next day or so.
Giles comes in and bowls short. Oh, he's hit the fielder there, who is Cook, I would imagine, under the helmet, and that sounded nasty. He's got a helmet on. That was a really loud crack as that went straight into his helmet. And, well, he's trying to get up, at least to his knees. And the physio, Kirk Russell, I can see is sprinting through the members already.
Harmison goes to Gilchrist. Gilchrist plays a good shot straight through Harmison. He tried a little skip. I don't think he was trying to stop it, and it's gone down the ground, and it's going to hit the rope now for 4. Long boundary, but a beautiful straight drive just on the onside of straight, and very nearly hit Harmison in the ankle as it whistled past him. Superbly timed, and Gilchrist, no surprise, he has overhauled Michael Clarke now. He's 44.
Giles continues
to Gilchrist, and Gilchrist comes forward and drives him through the covers. Runs here. They have 1. They'll be back for 2. Flintoff picks up. They think of 3, and they're going for the 3rd as Flintoff throws to Keeper Jones, but he's home, and that is a splendid half-century to Adam Gilchrist. Be a fair bit of relief from him, but the crowd are loving this. They're standing and they're applauding. Here's Giles to Gilchrist. Gilchrist down the pitch and drives the ball. That could go for 4 between cover and mid-off. It's a long boundary, but it's beautifully hit. And although it slows up a bit, it makes the boundary now, and Hoggard can only retrieve the ball. Another 4 to Gilchrist.
Left arm over the wicket from the northern end, and he delivers outside leg stump, and Clarke gets his 50 with a little nudge out to square leg. Michael Clarke has had just 2 innings in this Ashes series. 59 in the first innings at Brisbane, and now 50 not out here of 88 balls with 6 fours.
And they've been very important runs. I know it's a high-scoring game, but you look at the pressure that he was under when he came in, and also the team was under.
This one, he goes for a big blow out towards deep mid-wicket. Should be caught and is. Bell takes the catch. Looking for one big shot too many. He was hitting with the breeze. Didn't get enough elevation. And caught by Bell in the deep. But Adam Gilchrist has invigorated the crowd in this innings today. He has perhaps shown that he's still got plenty of test runs left in him.
Peterson bowling his occasional off spin.
It's exciting.
Great temptation this. Peterson bowls to him and he swings it away into the leg side and he's got 4 for it. The ball flew past Rudy Kurtzen and into the boundary walls. Warne goes to 8. The 400 comes up in the 120th over.
That's a good shot, Agus.
6 for 449. Anderson continues. In he goes and he bowls full. All around the off stump. Here's runs for Clark. Finally, he's got one through. And he's going to move to 90 with that extra cover drive.
As Anderson has him going forward and driving wide of mid-off. He's going to be 98. Splendid off drive. Joyce chasing back. He's substituting out there, but it doesn't matter. Clark 98. 2-2-4 in this over. And this will be another significant moment in what has been a bit of a turbulent career for Michael Clark. Anderson goes to Clark. Clark pushes forward and says yes, 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 and there's the run. He's reached 100. Oh, it's a relieved Michael Clark. Very quietly he raises his bat, he kisses his helmet and shows that gladiatorially off to the crowd, and he's coming back to his mate, his senior buddy Shane Warne, who gives him a huge embrace, and there's a word or two exchanged. Michael Clark has reached 100, and the crowd that have been so generous in their support of everything that's happened stand and applaud.
6 for 449. Anderson continues. In he goes and he bowls full. All around the off stump. Here's runs for Clark. Finally, he's got one through. And he's going to move to 90 with that extra cover drive.
As Anderson has him going forward and driving wide of mid-off. He's going to be 98. Splendid off drive. Joyce chasing back. He's substituting out there, but it doesn't matter. Clark 98. 2-2-4 in this over. And this will be another significant moment in what has been a bit of a turbulent career for Michael Clark. Anderson goes to Clark. Clark pushes forward and says yes, 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 and there's the run. He's reached 100. Oh, it's a relieved Michael Clark. Very quietly he raises his bat, he kisses his helmet and shows that gladiatorially off to the crowd, and he's coming back to his mate, his senior buddy Shane Warne, who gives him a huge embrace, and there's a word or two exchanged. Michael Clark has reached 100, and the crowd that have been so generous in their support of everything that's happened stand and applaud.
This one short and cut away with the spin by Warne. Out towards Harmison at deep point. And that's a 100-run partnership for the 7th wicket. We should probably delve into the record books because that probably is one. Potentially for the 7th wicket at this ground for Australia against England. Clark 108, Warne 39. They shake hands mid-pitch, 6 for 484.
In goes Hoggard, and oh, he's got 4 here. Down through the vacant slips. Not sure that Warne actually intended it to go there, but it flew away. Warne's rather cursing to himself. Those who walks away to square leg. But the 500 comes up. 6 for 502. And it seems to me, looking at Warne's reaction to that shot, as if he's determined that Australia are, in fact, really going to bat on here. 6 for 449. Anderson continues. In he goes and he bowls full. All around the off stump. Here's runs for Clark. Finally, he's got one through. And he's going to move to 90 with that extra cover drive.
As Anderson has him going forward and driving wide of mid-off. He's going to be 98. Splendid off drive. Joyce chasing back. He's substituting out there, but it doesn't matter. Clark 98. 2-2-4 in this over. And this will be another significant moment in what has been a bit of a turbulent career for Michael Clark. Anderson goes to Clark pushes forward and says yes, 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 and there's the run. He's reached 100. Oh, it's a relieved Michael Clark. Very quietly, he raises his bat, he kisses his helmet and shows that gladiatorially off to the crowd, and he's coming back to his mate, his senior buddy, Shane Warne, who gives him a huge embrace, and there's a word or two exchanged. Michael Clark has reached 100. And the crowd that have been so generous in their support of everything that's happened stand and applaud.
This one short and cut away with the spin by Warne. Out towards Harmison at deep point. And that's a 100-run partnership for the 7th wicket. We should probably delve into the record books because that probably is one. Potentially for the 7th wicket at this ground for Australia against England. Clark 108, Warne 39. They shake hands mid-pitch, 6 for 484.
In goes Hoggard. And, oh, he's got 4 here. Down through the vacant slips. Not sure that Warne actually intended it to go there, but it flew away. Warne's rather cursing to himself there as he walks away to square leg. So the 500 comes up. 6 for 502. And it seems to me, looking at Warne's reaction to that shot, as if he's determined that Australia are, in fact, really going to bat on here. Off goes Hoggard, and he bowls to Warne. He's on the pad. That's close for leg before wicket. Umpire Buckner thinks about it. Yes, he's nodding. He's gone. Shane Warne's got his hand on his hips. Shouldn't do that, mate. Look close from here. And Steve Buckner thought long and hard about it before dispatching him for 43. Hoggard takes his 5th wicket, which is a Herculean effort in these conditions. Shane Warne still glaring over his shoulder. He's torn his gloves off. Maybe he got a little nick to it, but it certainly looks straight from up here.
He runs in to bowl to Clark, and Clark drives him. And he's caught at mid-wicket. He lost patience there. He yanked that ball straight to Giles at short mid-wicket, and Hoggard's got 6 for. And now England can see a little light at the end of the tunnel and finishing off the Australian innings. All of a sudden, Michael Clark had a rush of blood. He hasn't had that throughout the innings. He ripped at a ball that was pitched near his pads, and he sent it straight to Ashley Giles, who's fielding at short mid-wicket, and he's out for 124, and it's 8 for 505.
Hoggard goes in again. He's bowled him. He's got 7 for Clark. Swings across the line. And well done, Matthew Hoggard. Clark looking to launch one out over wide mid-on, and he's lost his leg stump. He's out for a duck. And Matthew Hoggard has the incredibly fine figures in these conditions of 7 for 108. And Ricky Ponting mightn't have to worry about exercising his mind on a declaration, because Australia now are 9 for 507.
Anderson is there. He's bowled, and that's out. Caught behind. I think I heard the nick. Yes, he has. McGrath's gone. Anderson takes a wicket. So good captaincy there, you have to say, to Flintoff. He's taken Hoggard off. He's got a fresh man on. And immediately Anderson takes his first and only wicket, therefore, in this inning. So the first ball of England's second innings. Strauss is on strike. In goes Lee. He's there, and he bowls pitched up and flicked away through backward square leg. A good stroke that. McGrath's down there way in the distance, and he hurls in his throw. And so Strauss is off the mark straight away, turning the wrists and sending it away down the deep backward square leg. So it's no wicket for 1.
He runs in to bowl to Clark, and Clark drives him, and he's caught at mid-wicket. He lost patience there. He yanked that ball straight to Giles at short mid-wicket, and Hoggard's got 6 for. And now England can see a little light at the end of the tunnel and finishing off the Australian innings. All of a sudden, Michael Clark had a rush of blood. He hasn't had that throughout the innings. He ripped at a ball that was pitched near his pads, and he sent it straight to Ashley Giles, who's fielding at short mid-wicket, and he's out for 124, and it's 8 for 505.
Hoggard goes in again. He's bowled him. He's got 7 for Clark. Swings across the line. And well done, Matthew Hoggard. Clark looking to launch one out over wide mid-on, and he's lost his leg stump. He's out for a duck. And Matthew Hoggard has the incredibly fine figures in these conditions
of 7 for 108. And Ricky Ponting mightn't have to worry about exercising his mind on a declaration, because Australia now are 9 for 507.
Anderson is there. His bowler, that's out, caught behind. I think I heard the nick. Yes, he has. McGrath's gone. Anderson takes a wicket. So a good captaincy there, you have to say, to Flintoff. He's taken Hoggard off. He's got a fresh man on. And immediately Anderson takes his first and only wicket, therefore, in this inning. So the first ball of England's second innings. Strauss is on strike. In goes Lee. He's there, and he bowls pitched up and flicked away through backward square leg. A good stroke that. McGrath's down there, way in the distance, and he hurls in his throw. And so Strauss is off the mark straight away, turning the wrists and sending it away down the deep backward square leg. So it's no wicket for one. Stuart Clark, big man, big shoulders, and then he goes past the umpire again and bowls on the off stump. There quickly, the ball behind. Cook's out. Cook has gone, and the celebrations scatter the seagulls. He pushed forward. You could hear the little edge from up here. It was too wide, but he shouldn't have played at that. Excellent. And it's easy to criticise from here, but he just fell foul there, this nagging line of Clark's.
Michael, congratulations on the dig. I wonder about the emotion when you reached the 3 figures. I was looking for an adjective to describe your body language. What was it?
Yeah, look, it was. It's obviously a great feeling to make 100, and it's certainly been a long time waiting. 2 years ago, I think I scored my last 100 for Australia. So, yeah, I was wrapped. I guess, a lot of support I've had over the last couple of years, and a lot, getting back into the team. So I was very thankful, and I guess raising my bat to a lot of people back at home, my family and friends that have supported me through some tough times. But it was great to make 100 for myself personally, for my team, and for all the guys that have supported me.
With so many looking on, often we can get a gauge as to how a batsman is early in a dig, and you seem to have a lot of confidence right from when you went into the middle.
Look, I felt good, yeah. I knew my role, I knew what I had to do. Obviously, the team was #1 priority, so to build a big innings and be set for, for when Gilly come in. Last night we had a good start, and again this morning we, tried to work as hard as we could, and obviously he makes your life a lot easier the way he plays. So for me it was about I guess, starting again this morning and filling that secondary role, to watch Churchy. He was hitting the ball sweet, so it was good to put on a few runs with him, and then Warne come out and smacked a few as well. So, when guys up the other end are doing well, it makes your life a lot easier.
And as your innings progressed, did you think then your confidence continued to grow?
Yeah, look, I think I was hitting the ball pretty well. I think any time the longer you spend in the middle, the better you seem to hit the ball, and I guess that was the case for me today. The longer I spent there, the more runs, runs seemed to come. I found there was a stage early this morning where I couldn't really score too many. I felt a little bit bogged down, but as the day panned out, the runs continued. So, yeah, very happy.
What happens now with the Englishman almost 100 in front, a day to go? Can anybody extract a victory out of tomorrow?
We'll certainly be trying, the Australian team. We'll come here fired up tomorrow morning and hopefully get a few wickets and have some sort of target to chase late in the afternoon.
And a final one for you, Shane Warne extracted a bit of turn. Do you think M. Clark might get a few overs to bowl tomorrow?
The way Warne's been bowling, I don't think so. I think he'll take care of the spin bowling. But you never know. If I get an opportunity, I'll look forward to it.
Third test, first against England. A special moment for you then?
Certainly was. Very happy and great to see over 500 on the board. So the boys are wrapped.
Congratulations on your third test century. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So let's have a word with Geraint Jones, who has seen at close hand that Herculean effort from England's bowlers, particularly from Matthew Hoggard, to take 7 for 109 on that wicket. I'm sure you'd like to pay tribute to his efforts.
Yeah, Hoggy was unbelievable. He kept going all day, and he hit the wicket a lot harder than he did in that first up at Brisbane. That was a conscious effort that he made, and it's reaped rewards.
I dare say you haven't stood up to a seam bowler in a test match too often before in those sort of circumstances.
No, that's the first time I spent that much time up there, so it was a new experience. I enjoyed it. It also helped create a bit of pressure on their batsmen, and hopefully got Hoggy a couple of wickets.
It seemed to be part of the plan, didn't it? You standing up, and certainly some of the field placings on the drive, on the one. That was all part of a sort of master plan.
Yeah, you had to adapt. That was the sort of wicket that it just had to happen. You had to have the fielders in front of the wicket catching and just persevere all day long.
What about Steve Harmison? How did you feel he bowled after everything that was said and written about what had happened to Brisbane?
Yeah, I felt there was a dramatic change in the way Harmy bowled. It we were just talking about up there, he didn't have many balls down the leg side, you know, compared to up at the Gabba. There was a few down there, and I just felt his lines and lengths, and he had some good pace, so you know, it's very encouraging.
Is he a man whose confidence is naturally quite fragile?
I don't think so. He's, you know, he was hurt by the performance at the Gabba, but he's a strong character, and he wants to bounce back and show people why he's such a good bowler.
Andrew Flintoff bowled very well at the Gabba, got through a lot of overs today as well. What's the situation with his ankle? Because he did come off for a bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit sore, which is, you know, to be expected. You know, back-to-back tests, and he's just come off an injury, so you know, he'll be okay. Just a little bit of rest now before the next one.
Test cricket is hard enough, but I have to ask you, when you were in Brisbane, Shane Warne laid into you a little bit. How did you feel about that, and how have you responded to it?
Oh, you know, it's part of it. You have to expect it. You know, I did need my dad to, you know, to make the comments, but you know, he did. He's a proud father, and you know, and Warne sort of, you know, he came at me in that test, but you know, it's all part and parcel of the game, and I just laughed it off. I enjoyed it. It's you know, in a way, it helped me relax.
Is there a little bit of jip between you two out there because of it?
No, not really. No, nothing was really said in this game. I know that the camera sort of highlighted me talking a bit, but that was just to my own teammates. You know, I don't think Shane was a guy that you need to stir up too much.
Did you say to your dad, stay out of it? You know, I can fight my own battles now.
I did once. You know, once I realised what had gone on, but it was a bit late then. It was all you know, he'd written, he'd made his phone call, so but he knows now.
What about this pitch? I mean, if every test pitch were like this, I'm guessing we go around having 0-0 draws in series.
Yeah, it's a flat one, but you know, it looks like it's got a bit of turn in it, so it's still going to be hard work for us tomorrow. You know, Warne's a fantastic bowler, and I'm sure he's going to come around the wicket into that rough, and you know, and see what's going to happen from there.
How much pressure do you feel yourself about your batting? Because, you know, we all know what the history is with you and so forth.
Oh, you know, there's a little bit of pressure there. But, you know, I'm just trying to relax as much as I can. I felt I batted, you know, fairly well up at the Gabba. I was happy with that, and I must admit, you know, that sort of situation, 5 down for 500 in this test, you know, it's one that it's tough for me. Those ones, 5 for 50, I prefer, but yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm, you know, hitting the ball well in the nets, and you know, nice and relaxed out in the middle. So hopefully get to Perth and make a good score.
Speaking of Adam Gilchrist, Glenn, you deal with him a lot when you're in Perth. There, really business savvy, media savvy talent, isn't he? I mean, he's got a big career for him, I'd imagine, once he retires. But
probably just managing his portfolio of investments.
Wasn't always the case, though. I remember going up to, remember the Super 8s tournaments from about 10 years ago? Where the state, I think it was a 16-over game competition, and we tried to build. They sent myself, Adam Gilchrist, and Paul Rifle up to Townsville to do a bit of promotion about a month out, and we arrived at this school, and I think basketball was the real craze in the mid-90s, wasn't it? And there's about 100 kids all playing basketball and that sort of stuff. Gilly got invited by the 2 Victorians to speak on our behalf, promoting this new competition, Super 8s, and remember the whistle started, and the teacher called in. You know, everyone, the kids are complaining they want to just play some more basketball, this sort of stuff, and we're lucky enough to have Adam Gilchrist here, and this is before Gilly had played much one-day cricket. Didn't start well. A lot of, you know, Adam Who, Gil Church, you know, what's this sort of stuff. So finally the kids settled, and Gilly started to speak, saying what a fantastic opportunity to talk here. And after about a minute, you know, basketball started to get thrown.
Dribble.
Guys were turning their back and all this sort of stuff. But he soldiered on, you know. All of a sudden, you know, I think I hit in the back of the head by a basketball and this sort of stuff. But he really wanted to make sure he got his speech out.
Armstrong back into the attack from the river end, as the northern end, replacing Giles. First one well up and driven by Clark to Hoggart at mid-off, no run.
And certainly did start to falter as the kids basically have just ignored him and gone off or turned their back there, and he's just started to start. Is anyone listening? Anyone like this? And I just remember this little kid, must have been about 8 or 9, and no doubt he's gone into a media career before me. Me and Paul Rifle were laughing. He just turned to me and he goes, "That bloke's dying out there." And I said, "I know, isn't it great?" He's dying out there.
Must say hello to Cameron, who must be our most remote listener, I think, today. Well, that's always a challenge for people to try and beat this. On a quiet day, it's often quite a good challenge to have. We've got, of course, our private listening in Iraq. But how about this one? In goes Anderson, and that's driven up to mid-on by Clark on 90, and there's no run. Cameron's on honeymoon. Now, I'll put this out to you, ladies. If you're on honeymoon in Nha Trang, sorry about the pronunciation, in Vietnam. What would you feel if you were nicely tucked up in bed, the new missus, as Cameron says, and the new hubby's nipped down to the hotel internet centre to listen to the cricket commentary?
Oh, he's passionate.
Well, I'm not sure that he is.
On his cricket,
I think that's part of the problem. 6 for 453. In goes Anderson, and that's driven up to extra cover. And there's no run. What do we make of that?
Oh, good on him, Cameron. He's got his priorities right.
I'm on honeymoon. I want to read this properly. What sort of trouble we'd be in? In Nha Trang, sneaking in a listen in hotel internet centre while new missus sleeps. Enjoying commentary when possible. Not sure if it's the connection here, but the Barmy Army seemed quiet. Regards, Cameron.
They've started to crank up a bit.
If
now,
you could beat that, I'm sorry, that has to be an absolute winner, doesn't it? In goes Anderson. And he bowls a slower ball, which is pushed away back to the bowler. And there's no run. How can you have that on your honeymoon, your new wife tucked up, and you've snuck out to listen to the cricket on your hotel business centre?
That's what blokes do, don't they? Are you really that surprised by that?
I'm with you to the extent that it's a very good effort, but I'm not sure I would live to tell the tale. You've met my wife. Well played, Cameron. In goes Anderson and bowls on the off stump. Played to a very short, straight mid-on. I mean, that's not quite so silly. It's almost stupid where Ashley's fielding.
There's a bit of bowlology here, tactics. The ball is going for Anderson. He's bowling with good pace. I think he's just getting too predictable with his bowling an in-swing at each ball. And it's full. Clark knows to get on the front foot. I think he needs to start breaking up a little bit. The odd shorter ball to push Clark back. Get the ball shiny side around the other way and try and swing it across. He's got to mess with his footwork a little bit here.
Anderson bowls, and that's driven up to extra cover, where it's fielded by Peterson. And there's no run. Well, look, they're going to have a break here. If anyone can beat Cameron's effort for listening at the moment, do let us know. It's the email is grandstand@your.abc.net.au. It's got to be pretty good, I think, to defeat Cameron.
Yes,
Hogarth. And this is driven up to extra cover.
You're just focusing.
And there's no run.
The thing that Agus has learned over the years, always read information that's put in front of you before you read it out, because he's been caught a few times. So Matthew Hogarth was just about to let it go. I thought I'd better call this ball because
called it very nicely.
His attention was to the writing in front of him.
If I say that our following email is from a concerned dad, have you been following events in here this afternoon? Then if you have,
I've been following lots of events.
Well, if you have, then you'd know what this related to. In goes Hogarth outside the off stump. Our listeners will all know exactly who he's written to me now.
Oh yes,
concerned dad.
That one, yeah.
Dear Aggers, imagine my surprise when I heard you read out an email from my son, Cameron.
I thought you were going to name him, but anyway.
on his honeymoon in Vietnam. I almost fell off the ladder I was on. His mother will not be amused when I relay the story to her.
As mothers are seldomly not amused by their sons'
Well, I can just imagine poor Cameron at the moment listening to the business centre in Vietnam, actually, while he's listening to this. In goes Hogarth, and he bowls on the off stump. And Clark comes forward and plays up to extra cover. There's no run. She's eager to have a grandchild. But for what I heard you say, it seems it'll have to be another immaculate conception. Signed, concerned dad. Well, Cameron, if you are listening still in Vietnam, well, I think he's in trouble. In goes the Hogster, and he bowls on middle stump, and Warne plays out to extra cover. Anyway,
it's only 3 lines. You should have read it by now.
Yeah, it comes from Jeff. I'm sitting next to Cameron in Nha Trang, also on a honeymoon with my wife, but my hotel doesn't have internet facilities.
Oh, dear.
So I sneaked across the road to another hotel and met Cameron. Don't read it too loudly, I'll wake the wife up. I think we've had enough of that one.
It's all happening in Vietnam, anyway.
Sounds like it.
He's at first slip at the moment. As a play and miss there from Strauss. He didn't really get his foot across. And every now and then, Clark is getting this ball to really dance off the surface and jag away from the right-hander. On that occasion, it moved away from the left-handed Strauss, who lives to fight another over.
Bale back, slices to backward point. Oh, could be a run out to the far end. There's going to be a run out. Surely. Oh, Warne hit the fence. And that is just a catastrophe for England.
Disaster.
It was pushed away to backward point by Bell. It was Collingwood's call. Bell was slow to respond. The throw actually from the fielder wasn't a very good one. And as Bell dashed for the far end, Warne took the catch, but some way from the stumps. And he then had to underarm it at the stumps to effect the run out, which he managed to do. I mean, he was 3 yards away probably from the stumps. He underarmed it, cool as you like. And Bell's gone. 3 for 73, Warne bowls, and he bowled him. Peterson's bowled. Trying to sweep, and that's a really, really, really big blow for Australia. My word. And Warne is absolutely delighted with that. Peterson has gone. And England really are in danger here now. It was tossed up round about the leg stump. He went to sweep. He went behind his legs and hit the off stump. I mean, it turned out of the rough. Hit the off stump. It spun a mile. And Peterson's gone. Warne really enjoyed that.
Flintoff on a patient two. Swings and misses. As he caught behind, he's gone. Well, if I was Andy Flintoff, I would be walking off with head bowed as he is at the moment, because he learnt nothing. Absolutely nothing, the England captain, from his previous poor shot to the preceding delivery. Again, he just flung the bat at a full-ish, wide-ish delivery moving away, and he's paid the ultimate price, and he has truly opened the door now for Australia to perhaps conjure a 2-0 series lead.
Warne strides in again. Collingwood goes back and flicks that away into the onside. Has he finally broken the shackles and hit a boundary? I wonder. He has. I can't remember another one today. Perhaps there has been one. No, it hasn't. The first boundary of the day comes 2 minutes before lunch.
Short fine leg on the sweep for Jones, as well as a deep backward square. Warne has him forward beaten, and appeal for a catch. How is that to Steve Buckner? Not out. He pushed down the line, a big leg break. It fizzed past the edge of the bat. Did it hit the edge of the bat? The Australian players looked a little disappointed that they didn't get that decision from Steve Buckner.
I love the way you understate things, because they didn't look a little disappointment. They were almost distraught.
As Lee bowls, and he chases the ball, and he's caught in the gully. Caught by Hayden. He chopped at that. Hayden's taken a sharp catch in England. 6 for 94. Jones chased the delivery, and he skewed it, sliced it into the gully, and Hayden, going to his right, has taken the catch, and England very shaky.
In goes Lee, and he bowls to him, and he goes back, pushing a single. Well, he's got to take the run, I suppose. Ponting quite rightly here can put the men back. The 100 comes up, but it's got a 7 in front of it. 7 for 100. The lead 138. Lee bowls, and Hogard's got runs. Somehow, we're not entirely sure how, but he's got it down to third man. He hasn't a clue. He might get 4. It's Warne chasing the ball down to the boundary edge. They will take 3, in fact. Warne gets a great chair.
McGrath goes to Harmison. Harmison forward. He's hit on the pad to Bill for OBW. How close is that? He's out. It went the other way. He didn't play. Glenn McGrath gets the wicket. Oh. 9 for 119. England lead by 157. 1 wicket in hand. And wasn't that a brilliant bit of bowling from McGrath after he'd lost the radar, couldn't find it to start the over. He's finished the over with 1 going the other way on Harmison, who didn't play, and Rudy Kurtz's finger went up, even though a replay suggests the ball was probably going over the top.
Yeah. McGrath goes round the wicket, bowls. Anderson flicks that away down the leg side. He's given up the wicket. It's off the pad. England are all out for 129. Australia need 168 to win the match.
As Hoggard bowls and Langer drives, and he's caught by Bell. Smashed at the backward point. Straight to the fieldsman, and Langer is out for 7. And Australia 1 for 14. Matthew Hoggard gets his 8th wicket of the match.
Hoggard delivers again down the leg side, and it's worked away for 4 by Ponting. Down towards deep backward square. Well, give him his due. Hoggard has bowled with this field for a long time in this match, where he's had a man at backward square and no one
down between there and the sight screen, and that's almost the first time he's really strayed in that area, and Ponting, who's in good nick, we know that, moves to Sepp. Hayden faces Flintoff again, short, pulls it in the air. Collingwood should catch it near the square leg umpire, and he has. Hayden is out. It scatters the silver goals as the roar goes up around the Adelaide Oval. Hayden's lean start with the bat to this Ashes series continues. Over the wicket, Flintoff enticing with the short ball, a pull shot, which was profitable earlier in the over. He skied it high, and it was a clever catch. Collingwood had his back to the ball coming over his shoulder, running back towards the square leg umpire, and Hayden is out for 18. And this Agatha Christie-like fifth-day scripted cricket match has another twist. Australia 2 for 33, chasing 168 for the win.
If you want to come down, Anderson bowls, and back goes Hussey, edges between the keeper and slip. Jones is chasing, but it's gone for 4. Oh, that was a useful edge. No one at home there. Anderson getting a bit of bounce on Hussey, and he's picked up a 4 to third man. He's 23.
Goes Giles, Ponting, hits in the air, caught for 49. Will that have any impact at all, I wonder? Is it too late? Strauss took the catch there at extra cover, as the captain, Flintoff, in fact, was off the field. But Ponting is out for 49. He's played beautifully. He couldn't see it home completely. Came down to Giles, trying to hit him over the top in the offside. A shot he's played well today, but that was hit firmly to Strauss's right at short extra cover. And the acting and captain at the time made no mistake. Flintoff again comes in past the umpire and bowls, and Martin gives himself room. He's caught! Caught! At slip. Strauss takes the catch. Freddie Flintoff waves towards the dressing room to say cheerio to Damien Martin. And it's wonderful to watch on the hill. A minute ago, it was the right-hand group who were waving and singing and dancing and cheering. Now it's the group just beside them, the English contingent, who are doing precisely that, as another wicket is lost. 4 for 121.
Anderson bowls, Hussey drives, Australia lead 2-0 as Giles fields a deep extra cover. Hussey 61 not out, Clark 21 not out, and Australia have won by 6 wickets with 3.1 overs to spare. Well, what a performance by Australia, and what a disappointing effort for a pedestrian England side on the final day.
We'll get close to the action. Ricky Ponting's coming over as we speak. I'll see if I can grab the skipper. Ricky Ponting, well played.
Yeah, what an amazing test match. It's got to be the greatest test win ever, I reckon, anyway.
Now, the emotional roller coaster for you on this last day. What about Shane Warne?
Yeah, Warne was terrific. All the bowlers were terrific right through the game. You know, it was a really hard wicket to get wickets on, and they stuck us. Warne was terrific today. I mean, whatever he bowled, 30-odd overs for 40 runs was brilliant.
And you sat there and you saw a positive start to the Australians, and they really went about it knowing that it was going to be within your reach all the way through, Rick.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, we knew we could chase those runs on that wicket if we did it pretty smartly, and have someone like Huss out there towards the end was just was perfect for us.
Hussey and Clark, weren't they magnificent? They were in control, no risks taken. You had confidence in them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they've been around the one-day setup for so long. They know what it takes to win games in that situation. And, you know, as I said, mate, that's got to go down as one of the all-time great victories.
Enjoy, Ricky. Thanks for joining ABC Radio Sport. Michael Hussey, stand tall, magnificent.
Thanks, mate. I'll tell you, this is why we play the game, for a feeling like that, to hit the winning runs. In an Ashes test, it's just unbelievable feeling, mate. I'm just lost for words.
Surely not before today to give yourself a real chance. It was the bowlers and then the batsmen with controlled emotion. That's what you had to keep a lid on.
Yeah, I thought Shane Warne was absolutely outstanding today. He just showed he's a champion once again. He never lost hope of winning this match, and the way he bowled for 2 sessions non-stop. Also like to make mention of Adam Gilchrist wicket keeping on that sort of pitch. Very, very difficult, and I thought he did an absolutely outstanding job.
Describe your emotions when you hit the winning run.
Oh, just pure elation and relief, really. Such a great win. As you mentioned, it was always going to be tough, and to win a game that maybe was heading for a draw is just a great feeling, and certainly puts the pressure on the English now.
What about this crowd?
Oh, it was fantastic, and that's what kept us going, really. They were absolutely brilliant.
Take a bow, Michael, from right around Australia and, of course, right around the mother country who'd be disappointed. Well played on another magnificent individual performance.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
And I think Peter Walsh might have the man in question, Shane Warne.
Shane, I should call you Inspector Gadget. Are your arms still attached after a magnificent performance with the ball today? Well bowled.
Oh, look, it was a fantastic effort from all the guys. I thought the bowlers busted their knacker as well. They ran in, they keep running in, and I thought the partnership bowling was great and the batting was fantastic. To chase down that total on those conditions was an excellent effort, and the body's feeling very sore, Walshy.
When you come to a cricket match where almost everyone thought it could be a day that would peter out, when did you really think you had a chance to knock England over?
I suppose once we got that run out and then getting Kevin Peterson out, I suppose that gave us a lot of momentum, and we knew we were only a couple of balls away from getting into their tail. So, I think the belief was there deep down that we, could cause an upset, but, it was going to have to be a miracle sort of win. This is probably the best test match I've played, 140-odd tests. It's definitely the best test match I've played in.
And coming back from spending a lot of overs in the first dig with not much reward, how satisfying then? 27 overs today and you picked up 4 for 29.
Yeah, no, very happy with the way it went today.
Well bowled, Shane. Shane Warne joining us here on ABC Radio Sport around Australia.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. Andrew Flintoff's been good enough to join us at a difficult time, Andrew. You played so much good cricket during this test match, and just one session, a couple of hours, is that the way you look at it, where it all went away from you?
Yeah, probably wasn't a session, it was probably an hour. Throughout the test match we played some great cricket. We scored 540 in the first innings. I thought we stuck at our task well with the ball. Matthew Hogarth was outstanding. And then this morning, just for that 1 hour, where we lost wickets, it was a magnificent spell from Shane Warne. Brett Lee bowled well as well, and it just put us on the back foot and we couldn't come back from it.
Was it the sort of spell from Shane Warne that you were anticipating?
Shane Warne's a fine bowler, we know that, and the wicket was wearing. There's a lot for him to bowl as a wrist spinner, and it was tough out there. Paul Collingwood, he battled and gritted his way through. It probably just took one more of us to stay with him for another hour, another 10, 15 overs, and the game would have been safe.
What was the approach when you got here this morning? What did you say as the batsmen amongst each other about what the approach should be?
Yeah, the batsmen, they think about the games. It's just a case of going and playing. They know the games, they know which way they play, and at this level you can't tell lads how to play. They know what they're doing, and today it just didn't come off. Was it the first time really you'd seen Brett Lee swing the ball both ways during this series? No, he's done it before. Reverse swing came into it in this game. Coming into there, the ball was slightly older, and it reverse swung both ways. It's one thing playing swing ball when it's conventional, but when it's going both ways with the reverse, it's tricky, and he used it fantastically well today. Did you think there was any chance that you could get a draw once you had to go out into the field again? Did you think you could realistically keep them to under the 168? He was hoping, he was believing we could do. We knew the first few overs were going to be tough for that new ball. It probably happened in reverse in this game. The new ball was easier to face, and once the ball got older, it was harder to score. So if we could get through that first 10 overs unscathed and in a decent position, we thought we could contain them. But as it happened, they came out positively and they played well. Is it quite a good thing that you've got a bit of a break now, that you haven't got a back-to-back test match with Perth, as it were? Yeah. No lies from that. Back-to-back test matches are hard, both mentally and physically. And that gives us just over a week to regroup, get our minds right, and more importantly, get our bodies right. We can recover going into the next test match in Perth. Will you worry about it till tomorrow in terms of a post-mortem, as it were? There'll be no post-mortem. Something we'll discuss. We'll think about where we went wrong in this game, but I think it's glaringly obvious. It was just half an hour this morning where the game got away from us. OK, I have to ask you finally, how you need to win 2 of the last 3. How confident are you that you can do that to retain the Ashes? We've got to be. We've got better and better throughout this trip. From the Gabba, we played a lot of good cricket here. And it's just a case of seizing moments in the game. And, this time Australia seized the moment, which turned a test match in the end. And we've got to learn from that. But we've got to come back stronger as we did at the Gabba. We've got to come back again at Perth. Thanks for talking to us, Andrew.
Thanks for all your help.
Thank you.